video, what we're going to focus on is getting the most out of the food that you're eating. Now, I'm not a big advocate of supplementing your diet when you can get it from the food that you eat. If you can get what your body needs on a daily basis from your regular diet that you eat daily, breakfast, lunch and dinner, that is what you should be doing. But obviously, if you have issues with absorption because of inflammation in the gut, then we need to look at other ways to maximise that absorption until the gut issue has been resolved. Now, one of the ways you can do that is through liquid absorption. So juices, smoothies, soups, protein shakes. If you need to maximise your absorption of your protein shakes are a good way to go. The only thing I would say about the protein shake, just be mindful of the sugar content. Just pay close attention to when you're choosing a protein shake of your preferred option, that you make sure it's not spiking your insulin levels, because some of them can be particularly high in sugar. So yeah, there's lots of ways that you can maximise your nutrition absorption through liquid form. If you do need to supplement it, then what you need to do is you need to go for, again, liquid absorption supplements. So a tablet, if you swallow a tablet, again, you're relying on your gut to break it down. You're going to reduce the amount of the goodness that's in that supplement pill that's been absorbed into the bloodstream. So again, you need to look at liquid absorption when you're looking at supplementing any of your diet requirements. Now, a couple of options is there's vitamin sprays, there's vitamin drops. So if you're for your little ones, that's quite a common thing that's available is vitamin drops. Sprays are readily available in B12. B12 you can get they're readily available in majority of the good health food stores. B1 isn't highly traced in any fruit and vegetables. So if you were going to supplement B1, it would have to be in tablet form. So what I would suggest is crushing that tablet and putting that into a juice or a smoothie or a yogurt, so that you're maximising the absorption of that tablet. But everything else you should be able to get in liquid form through your fruit and your vegetables, until obviously the gut's healed, and then you can eat your vegetables and eat your fruit, and you'll absorb it that way. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can do a smoothie. So I'm just going to demonstrate the two different options for you, because although yes, smoothies and juices are the best way to maximise your nutritional absorption of your dietary antioxidants, so your vitamins and your minerals. So if we refer back to our tutorial where we talked about the dietary antioxidants and the primary antioxidants that the body produces naturally, the dietary antioxidants get saturated very quickly. So what you want to be doing is you want to be drip feeding the body quite regularly with these dietary antioxidants. So drip feeding the body throughout the day with some source of vegetables and a small amount of fruit. You don't want to go mad on the fruit, because what you've got to remember is it's a natural form of sugar, so you don't want to spike your insulin levels. That's something you've got to be very, very conscious of. Now, particularly when you're juicing, juicing fruit will spike your insulin levels quite dramatically. So it's crucial. You don't need to pay much attention to. You can juice as many vegetables to your heart's content, but the fruit, I would make a conscious. If you're going to juice your fruit, make sure that you weigh it, and that you've got to be quite accurate on this. So I'm just going to show you the first way to do this. Now this way I'm going to be juicing and blending, so I'm going to be combining the two. So I'm just going to take 1/2 of an apple. Now that is around about 80 grams, so it's one portion. So you're not spiking your insulin levels massively. That will be around about, with the lemon as well, it'll be around about 15 grams of sugar mark, of natural sugar. So that's acceptable. Anything more than that, you are spiking your insulin levels a bit too much, all in one hit, in one drink. So we're going to get started. So in this one, I mean, you can put in whatever you like, and obviously you've got to bear in mind if there's any vegetables that you specifically have an intolerance to, you would avoid those. So just use whatever it is that you would want to use. So I'm just going to cut the apple up. Now I'm using a slow juicer. So the slow juicers, the elements don't heat up as quick as much as what they do with a fast juicer. So it means you're not going to destroy so much of the nutrients that's in the fruit and vegetables as you're juicing it, because those blades are staying as cold as possible. So we're just going to juice this. Juicing the 1/2 an apple, and I've got 4 smallish carrots here, just going to throw those in. Staple lemon. So if you remember when we've gone through the habit creating tool, I encourage you to have at least 1 lemon a day. Now this is a great way to get it into you first thing in the morning. So it's going to help to alkaline the system first thing in the morning. So I'm just going to put a whole lemon in there. Now with the juicing, you are destroying all of the fibre essentially. So I am going to blend in. Okay, so I am going to blend in a certain element. So I'm just going to put our juice that we've just juiced into the NutriBullet cup. Going to blend in, get a full portion, which is 80 grams of frozen kale. Now, the reason I am blending in frozen is because I want to keep the elements, the blades, in the NutriBullet or whatever blender you're using. You want to keep them cold. You don't want those to overheat and destroy what you're blending in. So I'm just going to add that in. And if you're putting any powdered functional foods in, you'd add those in now. I'm going to talk to you about that in a separate video, and I've actually had mine, so I'm not going to add them into this. So just blend that up. Okay, so once this is blended up, you have the perfect green smoothie. So again, if you wanted to lift the flavour at all, you can add the stevia, but that's just down to personal taste, how sweet you like your drinks. But that's a lovely drink. way way that you can make your smoothie, if you don't own a juicer, is to just blend everything. But what I would suggest is doing part non-frozen and part frozen. If you do everything frozen, you're going to end up with slush. And if you don't use anything that's frozen, then obviously the blades are going to heat up far too much, and then you're going to destroy quite a lot of the goodness that's in the vegetables and fruit that you're blending into your smoothie. So what I'm going to do is, now this is where I would say to weigh even your vegetables. So we're going to weigh the carrots in. So I've got a portion there, which is 80 grams, and I'm going to put in half a portion of berries, frozen berries, and I'm going to put in a full portion of frozen kale. Now I'm just going to add in an extra, no I'm not, I'm just going to leave those ones out. Now what I'm going to do, now you can use any sort of liquid at all. You could use almond milk. I go for almond milk before I go for coconut milk, because coconut milk is actually higher in sugar than the almond milk. So the almond milk is a better option if you want to go for a milk alternative. You could use regular milk if you haven't got a dairy intolerance, or you could use water or tea. Now I'm just going to add some matcha tea. Again, I'll talk to you about matcha in a separate video. And all I'm going to do is just whiz all that up. Now again, you can add, I would add a bit of stevia to this. There's the stevia. So I'm just going to add a bit of stevia just to lift this flavour of the berries. Otherwise it will be a little bit bland. You find with the juicing, that's why I prefer juicing and blending, because you're getting more of the natural flavours of the fruit and the vegetables out. Whereas when you're just blending, you tend to not get much flavour out. So I'm just going to blend that up. Okay, so that is our green smoothie. Now you will have to probably add a little bit more liquid. So when you're just blending all your fruit, a lot of vegetables, it can get a bit thick, so you may have to add a little bit more liquid afterwards. That is the other way to do it. Okay, so because we want to be drip feeding the body quite regularly with these dietary antioxidants, another drink that I can suggest to you to make, you can prep it in the morning. That's what I do. I prep it in the morning when I'm making my morning smoothie, ready for kind of about lunchtime-ish, and that is cucumber. So we're going to juice some cucumber. Portion of a cucumber, whole lemon again, so we're back to outlining the body, and a bit of ginger. Now ginger is a great natural antibiotic, so I just usually add in just an inch slice on a daily basis. Either drink that neat as it is, or you can add some water to it and have it as a long drink, whatever suits you.